And I realized, can the ladies know what I realized? Yeah. So I realized my period had come without me expecting it. So I quickly sat down again, and then Katha sat down with me and she asked me, what's wrong? And I told her my period has come. So she said, okay, let's wait for everyone to leave. So the prayer was done, kila mtu akatoka. And then now she had a scarf that day. She gave me her scarf. So I tied myself with the scarf, and we went to her friend's office. So she had a friend who was there.
Yeah? Mimi kwanza tunaingia na dance style. Si tuweke kamoja kenye comrades wanapenda.
Tukurudishe pale hapo.
Mwasimu hata hamujamuona. Sawa? Mwasimu hamujamuona sasa. Na pia nyinyi mwasimu hata hamkuwa mmesimama, sasa ketini niwaambie msimame. Haya. Sasa simameni tukaribishe Miss Charlene Ruto, tusimameni. Haya, kila mtu mikono juu. Sasa unashika kichwa, mabega, kiuno, alafu naruka mbele 1 2 3. Iko sawa? Mtuko sawa comrades? Watu wa BBIT mko sawa? Uko ndo supplementary imejaa sasa. Haya, tujaribu kila mtu mikono juu. Wapi kelele ya Charlene Ruto jamani?
Students of Cooperative University, hamjambo. Poa. The VC in absentia, Professor Kamau Ngamau, the Dean of Students, the Registrar in absentia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good. Now, the speech was supposed to be in the morning, but it's now afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much to the University Councillor and the team from Chiromo Hospital for the speech given about mental health, which is such an important facet for our youth today. Thank you so much, Mrs. Veronica. Thank you so much to, I think, the best speaker of today, Ms. Aisha Hussein Roba. Thank you for speaking from your heart and sharing your experiences. She was reminding me how we had a Twitter conversation a few months ago. So it's such a pleasure to finally meet you and put a face to the name. Thank you so much to Mr. Lengot from C-Squared and what you're doing in the internet space, and for the tidbits and encouragement you've given us today. Thank you to the school president. I don't know where he is. Yes, thank you so much. And the biggest thanks to Zamzam, the school vice president, for organizing this event and for caring about the girl child and what we are going through. Thank you so much for your leadership and your wisdom. I am so humbled and privileged to be here with you today. It's my first time at the Cooperative University, so it's such an honor to get this invitation, and I want to thank all the organizers of this pad and toiletry drive. This activity is so important because it aims at addressing period poverty and menstrual hygiene amongst the student community, but above all puts a focus on a vital aspect of society today, which is human dignity. Recently on my social media platforms, I posted about the 30 things that I want to do to support the young people, and I wanted all the young people's ideas because I didn't want to just sit in a room and decide this is what the young people need and this is what we'll work on. I wanted everyone to come in so that we see what are our challenges and how we're going to work together to get solutions to these challenges. And I must say that menstrual health hygiene featured prominently among the top 10 issues. And I suppose that some of the suggestions and good recommendations must have come from this great community of the Cooperative University of Kenya. Before I move further, today we came with a team from Softcare And we have one of their representatives here. I'd like him just to say something small as we partnered with him during this drive.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Habari yako? Kidogo Kiswahili, yeah. Thank you. I can get a chance to your university, and our factory is in Kenya, and these things is our donations, and right now we have around 600 staffs in our factories, and doing business here is not easy without the Kenyan support. We are supported by all Kenyans, and many people support us. And also, a part of doing business, we also have duty to doing some society duties. So we'd like to attend, to join some, to do our contributions to Kenya. So we also need some more staffs. We also have job opportunities. I welcome you. After you graduate, you can send us your documents to our company. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our representative from Softcare. So Softcare donated 30 cartons, and I donated 30 cartons. So we matched that together, and we pray this will help the ladies, the beautiful young ladies of this institution for the next year or so. And as I was thinking about what we are coming to do here today, it reminded me of a time when I was also in campus. I was at Daystar University many years ago. And in Daystar we used to have chapel service because Daystar is a Christian university. And I remember this particular chapel service. I had sat with my best friend, she's here today, her name is Nkatha. So we had sat next to each other during chapel, and when chapel finished, we stood up to do the closing prayer, and so that we finish and go to class. So as we stood up to do the closing prayer, by chance I turned to look at my seat, and I realized, can the ladies know what I realized? Yeah. So I realized my period had come without me expecting it. So I quickly sat down again, and then Katha sat down with me and she asked me, what's wrong? And I told her my period has come. So she said, okay, let's wait for everyone to leave. So the prayer was done, kila mtu akatoka. And then now she had a scarf that day. She gave me her scarf. So I tied myself with the scarf, and we went to her friend's office. So she had a friend who was working at the school. So we went to her friend's office, and she took I think I'd worn jeans. I don't remember what I'd worn. She took it for me, and she helped me to wash it in the washroom, dried it with the dryer. She came back and it was clean. She looked up for a pad for me. And I think as girls, we really support each other during that time when we're going through our menses. It's so easy to ask a fellow girl, uko na pad, or you have a tampon, you help me. It's so easy to do that at that time. So that was when I was about 21 years old. So fast forward to a few weeks ago, when again, I don't know why my period surprises me sometimes. And I was at an event somewhere, and this time Katha was not there. I was with my male friends. And I don't know, it was so hard for me to just tell them, like, I need to get sanitary towels. I just told them, we need to go to the supermarket. And they're asking, why unataka kununua nini ya kununua? So I'm like, no, I just really need to go to the supermarket and buy something. And based on the norms and taboos in our society, it's not something many people are comfortable speaking about publicly, and that is why we are here today. We must encourage open and honest discussions about menstrual health and hygiene so that we break this stigma and shame associated with menstruation. Because menstruation is a natural and healthy process. Every woman goes through it. Many girls learn about menstruation when they reach puberty, which can really be a frightening and confusing experiences. If I gave the ladies here a chance to explain the first time they got their period, you'd hear such a diverse mix of stories. But I thank God that in Kenya, we have the menstrual hygiene management policy, which seeks to ensure all women and girls in Kenya can manage menstruation hygienically, freely, with dignity and without stigma or taboos. And with access to the right information on menstrual health management, which includes details on menstrual products, services, and facilities, and how we can safely dispose of menstrual waste. These are the things that can help us as a community when it comes to menstrual hygiene. As we go on with this drive today, we should remember that menstrual products must also be safe, effective, and acceptable to the people who use them. There are many creative and innovative products today. However, experiences and preferences also differ. For now, there are some of my friends who started using menstrual cups, but for me, I feel like, I was talking to a male friend about it when we were coming, and he was like, naogopanga hiyo kitu inaweza anguka. So there's so many different menstrual preferences, and there's so much stigma about menstruation, but it depends on the woman and what she chooses to use. And I will emphasize that we need to overcome this taboo that menstruation should not be discussed publicly, because silence about menstruation can lead to ignorance and neglect, and this leaves women and girls vulnerable to things like period poverty and discrimination. When last year when I was going around different counties, my main agenda has been to understand the young people and the challenges we go through. And as I visited a few schools, I had different stories about how girls couldn't come to class or to school because they didn't have access to menstrual products, which is something that we need to change within our country. And we fail to openly talk about these issues. It also adversely affects women and girls with heightened vulnerabilities. A large percentage of the women and girls in Kenya cannot afford sanitary pads, and since commercial sanitary products are highly valued, some girls without access will resort to or are coerced into transactional sex to buy menstrual products, and this is a reality that is happening. And when these kind of things happen, as young people, we are alive to matters such as HIV infections, which have been on the rise amongst the young people in our country. So things like this then lead to heightened HIV infections. And I must say that it is a myth to say that menstruation is a woman's issue only. While it is true that menstruation is experienced in the bodies of women and menstrual health issues are human rights issues, therefore they are important to us as a society as a whole, which is why I'm so glad that there are so many young men who are in this room today. And I'm so glad that one of our speakers was asking, can you tell your boyfriend to buy you a pad? And there's one of the speakers who was telling me that when she used to have a friend when she was on her period, he used to buy her chocolates to give her comfort during that time. So as young men also, how do you support the young women, your sisters, your girlfriends, your wives, how do you support them when they're going through their menstrual cycle? So this means then that our brothers, you as our brothers, men and boys should be involved in this conversation so that we promote positive masculinity and eliminate menstruation-associated stigma and discrimination. So what is this we are all doing here today? It's about human dignity. I quote Martin Luther King Jr. who said, "All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence." I believe in period dignity, and I had this t-shirt made specifically for this event because I personally believe in period dignity. And I hope from what we've discussed here today, each one of us will be ambassadors of period dignity. Thank you so much.